prediction is for the Women's War Games Damage Control, the new Damage Control with the addition of Asuka and I can't forget her name now. Kairi Sane. So this is interesting because it's a new group, a bigger group, an addition to the group going into their first pay-per-view. And in order for them to stand out and make a name for themselves, you've got to beat the sides that's got the greats in Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. You know, that's quite a formidable team to be. You know, that's quite a feather in the cap. It would be interesting if Bianca got the pin on Bayley, because that would give Damage Control a reason to kick Bayley out, but I don't think that may come just yet. So I'm going to go for Damage Control for the win. Next prediction is for Santos Escobar versus Carlito. The battle of the LWO, the Civil War, should we say. We've had one in the Bloodline, now we've got one in the LWO. It's quite interesting here because, you know, this could build up to LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. That would be very interesting. However, in order for Santos to solidify his heel turn, he's got to get the win. It's the only way it would make sense. Carlito's quite well known, and he's well over, so he can afford the loss. Whereas if Santos loses, that would pretty much be the end of his push, I would say, and he will just disappear into darkness. So, only for it to make sense, Santos is going to win the match. So, Escobar for the win. Next prediction is for the defense of the Intercontinental title. The title holder, the reigning defending champion, Gunther, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time, recently overtaking Honky Tonk Man's record, versus The Miz, an 8-time Intercontinental champion. Now this is somewhat interesting in the way of, if Miz were to win, he would tie Chris Jericho as most Intercontinental title wins. And that's going against the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time. Well, you know, he's only just beat the record, so why are they going to stop now? This is why Samoa Joe relinquishing the TV title, even though he became the longest reigning, just kind of didn't make sense to me. He could have held it all the way until now, even with what's going on, with where he's going and what's happening. He still could have held that belt, because it's the only belt he has. Still, he hasn't got another belt yet. He hasn't got that title match just yet. It's not even been advertised. So all that time, he could have still been holding the TV title. Anyways, without going into too much deliberation, I don't see Miz winning here. As interesting as it may seem, and as tantalizing as it may look, as him equaling Chris Jericho's record. After all, John Cena has equaled Ric Flair's record. But I do not see The Miz beating Gunther. He's too strong. He's too strong. I have a few other characters in mind who would test the winds of time with Gunther, but in this case, it's not going to be The Miz. It's pretty much going to be a squash match. I mean, yes, he got a low blow on the Go Home show, but this is not a non. If he does that in the match, he'll get disqualified, and still your Intercontinental champion, Gunther. So even with that being said, it's a straight match, but still your Intercontinental champion, Gunther, the Ring General, Gunther. This prediction is for the Women's World Championship between Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark. This is Rhea Ripley's strongest competition, but I wouldn't say her most dangerous. It'll be a good match. Probably be some good wrestling moves in there. So, as much as it will be quite an interesting contest and quite a good wrestling contest, like a battle of strength and so forth, Rhea Ripley will go on to retain. So the winner, Rhea Ripley. Next prediction. is for the men's War Games. It's the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, who is making his comeback, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. And obviously, when anyone's making their comeback, especially when they've been away for such a long time, it's usually, the winning comeback. Triple H, when he got injured, came back, won his first match. Same for Edge, same for Eddie Guerrero. So obviously, it's quite evident that Team Cody is going to win. However, anything can happen after that match, because you have Mr. Senior Money in the Bank and you have Seth Rollins, the world champion, there as well. So keep your eyes open on that one. But evidently, it will be Team Cody Rhodes, that wins the men's battle, the men's War Games.